Whoa. Boom. All right. Let's hold on. I want to do that again. There, I feel better now. Good day, everyone, and welcome to Saturday.
Welcome to Saturday.
That's right. Welcome to Saturday. I'm your host, Dean. My co-host, as always, Mr. Fernando Lopez.
That's
AKA,
right.
some people call him Nando. Some people call him the Space Cowboy. Anyways, Steve Miller Band.
Okay.
Or Maurice, you know.
Okay. I got nothing.
You haven't heard that? Yeah, I know you've heard that song.
Anyways,
yeah,
welcome to the Saturday show, guys.
Welcome to the Saturday show. And hey, if we stay on task tonight, we can get through everything and everyone will be happy and I won't have to get any phone calls and life will be great. So we'll just get it out of the way super fast. And that is the first 15 minutes show or 12 minutes, whatever it is. The first portion of the show is going to be brought to you by the fine folks at Audio Controls.
Yeah?
Yeah, let me go to here. If you didn't know, Audio Controls just launched a whole new line of subwoofer enclosures pre-made for some of the most popular vehicles on the road. So in previous, we had the Gladiator, we had the Bronco, we had the Jeep Wrangler. Now we also have the Ford F-Series trucks, along with Chevy and GMC trucks as well, both old and new, and different body styles. So 3 new subwoofer enclosures have been added to the lineup. They're fantastic looking. We have them next door. They're actually really sexy.
They're really nice. Yeah.
So if you're interested in picking up a fiberglass enclosure for your vehicle, not some chintzy wood box. Oh yeah, fiberglass. Head over to audiocontrol.com where you can check it out and see if they make a box that will fit your lifestyle.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, you know, I think the next box should be like Toyota. Like I think the Toyota and Ram.
I think Dodge Ram.
Yeah, Ram. You think
Yeah,
Ram? I'm
I
thinking
think
Ram.
Ram.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah.
I think Ram would be.
Yeah.
Would be really
And for the people that, you know, what happened with the Ram or the Toyota?
nice. We had nothing to do with it.
I feel they coming. You know, why were you not?
I mean, I would think you would.
I think so. Why not? All
Yeah.
right.
What's up,
Fine.
Mr. Brinkley?
There you go. Perfect time.
Phantom, previous Phantom Chris, no longer. Just Chris, Mr. Brinkley. If you know, Mr. Brinkley, if you're nasty.
Is it Sprinkly or Brinkley?
Brinkley.
No.
Did you say Sprinkly?
It's
Sprinkly Brinkley? Oh, you know, he got picked on when he was in high school about that.
I
mean, he's a big
think so.
guy. I mean, he's a big guy. I'm sure, you know.
The Mexican guy's definitely big.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sprinkly Brinkley?
Sprinkly.
Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, my name rhymes with a lot of things, and I apparently had a really
Hey,
good,
Mr. Sprinkler.
I apparently had an awesome RBF, and that, yeah, resting bitch face.
Ooh.
And a guy, I think it's just resting anger face, you know,
Mhm.
because I'm always angry. So it's like, don't ever bother me. Plus, I'd just punch you in the face. I did that to a couple guys.
Yeah,
ended
that totally. Yeah.
that totally solved that problem.
Maybe not, but
I mean, it did when you're in high school. It's amazing what'll happen when you punch somebody in the face. I mean, it's just like,
they punch you back.
no, surprisingly, no. It's pretty crazy.
Huh.
What's up, Brad?
What's
How
up,
are you?
Brad?
Man, I tell you what, I was telling you earlier, we had an amazing conversation.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's amazing. It's
How much you guys can talk?
Oh, well, it's amazing how much we can both talk for sure.
Yeah.
But it's just like awesome conversation. It's amazing. I love talking with Brad. You know, like Master Tech. He and I went out. He was like, "We should get out of here." I was like, "You're probably right," because barbecue didn't sound like a good idea, and we went and got curly fries.
It was not good. Yeah.
No, it wasn't. But the curly fries at the bar across the street were fantastic. Great evening. But I love talking with Brad because, for one, he can answer most of my questions,
100%.
which is fantastic because it's very, and he's great about doing it. So, with that being said, sorry, I was man crushing a little bit there, I guess.
All right.
Hi guys.
Hi.
How do I test for a parasitic current draw when I need to have everything closed and locked and cannot access the fuse panel? You do it at the battery. That's really the place you do it. So parasitic draw is typically there. And I know what you're saying. Well, the fuse holder underneath the hood is really where you start. The other thing too, and I've done it before, is Dukes of Hazzard style. So, you know, the windows don't need to be rolled up. So, because the windows being up or down are not going to create a problem. So what you're basically looking for, Buenos tardes, caballeros. What you're basically looking for is like the dome light being off and the car going to sleep. And most of that can be done underneath the hood because most of the stuff in the car is fed off of something underneath the hood controlling it. But yeah, so there again, Dukes of Hazzard style, usually the best way to handle that. Take your shoes off, socks are preferred.
Can totally, totally understand, man.
Two people help.
It's okay.
Cell internet power have been going in and out since yesterday. Yeah, I mean this hurricane has just kind of worked its way up through. Tennessee's getting now. It's a beast of a storm, and the scary thing is there's 2 more behind it, which really sucks because it just really sucks. What's up, Dean and Fernando? Keep up the great work and live logs. Glad no weather affected your area. Actually, it destroyed our area, to be honest with you. It just didn't destroy where we live. I was saying earlier, so if you caught the live Instagram show on Thursday that Haley and I did, that whole area that we drove, that whole area that we went over, 3 feet of water. The whole place is destroyed. We actually had a gentleman in here today for a car that they had 3 cars. All 3 of them were destroyed. The only one that still started and ran was the Jeep, and this was the amplifier underneath the seat from the salt water and the there you go. Yeah. So this was the goo on the amplifier underneath the seat. It was pretty disgusting. I'll publish the picture on Instagram later so you guys can see it. But no, it was pretty devastating for our little town. And then the beach is just doesn't. The beach, if you want to see some interesting pictures, Google Clearwater Beach hurricane pictures, because it just looks like somebody concreted the whole beach in white sand, the whole road all the way up. I mean, it's Clearwater Beach is done. It's gone. It sucks. Anyways, on to happier things.
Yeah.
Next question. Hey, if you have a question, make sure you get it into the comments now so that we can bang out through those questions. Getting them in early, it helps, or getting them in late, whatever you work. But on your dream podcast, Dream Product Podcast, for those who don't know, Brian Schmidt. Why did I call him Brian Schmidt? Brian Mitchell.
It's a lot of Brians.
Well, I was thinking Master Tech in there. So.
And you're talking with Brad, so
it doesn't help. Anyways, Brian and I do a podcast, Car Stereo Talk with Dean and Brian. You can find it on Podbeam, and you can also find it on Apple Podcasts. It's all there. We come out and do it every week because Brian just won't let me not do it every week so far. So anyways, you mentioned the surround sound setting on the Blackbird. Can you describe more of what it does? Okay, that's a good question, actually. So take another question, Fernando.
Okay, let me save it. So, what 10 inch shallow do you recommend for boomy bass? I'm running an Epicenter and an 800 mono amplifier. 10 shallow mount amplifiers you can pick from L7Ts, the Kicker L7Ts.
L7T.
I like the P3s.
Oh no, you like the T1.
Well, the T1, yes.
I mean, that's really the
but
guy.
It's a 10, you know.
Yeah, so what?
Yeah.
I mean, dude, you got 800 watts. You're gonna have to P3.
Yes.
You're gonna destroy a P3 with 800 watts.
Now it depends. The T1, the surround definitely it's bigger. Recommended to put a grill in front of it. For sure. Yeah,
so that is the one nice thing about the T1 is you can. I think it actually comes with the grill.
I don't think.
I know it comes. Really? I think it comes with the grill. If it doesn't, either way, they make a grill specifically for it. So you're in luck.
The T1 is my favorite subwoofer. I don't know why, because it is. But yeah, take those. What other ones?
I mean, that's 2. That's
okay. Box for the Titan.
XD.
I'm gonna say
box?
Maybe, in the future, audio control. They come out with Titan. Yeah.
They're never gonna come out with one for the Titan.
I don't think so.
They're never coming out. They don't. They're never coming out with one for the Titan.
You never know.
They're never gonna come out with. I can tell you right now, they're never gonna come out with one for the Titan.
Dean.
All right. Yes.
Does anyone make a plug-and-play harness to integrate new speaker wires into the stock amplifier plug in the 2021 Toyota Sequoia with a JBL synthesis system?
So I believe the Pack Amp Pro now works with that, and if it does, I would check Packs, because typically when they do that, they automatically come out with a amplifier interface, like a plug for it. They may not. If it's a 2021, that might also be iData. I bet you iData does, and if iData has it, it's going to plug in at the amplifier. So
Pack definitely has. Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't say definitely, but so the cool thing about iData harnesses is that they're made to plug in at the amplifiers instead of behind the radio like the Pack. So Pack has to make a secondary harness, and sometimes they drop the ball, sometimes they don't. Whereas iData's plug in at the amplifier. So one of those two is going to have something that looks close to it. So I would check that out.
Yeah.
But sorry
to hear that. At least you.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It's just sad. I mean, it's sad. You know.
There's a lot of stuff.
But no, I mean, we did okay. So for us, it's all good.
Yeah.
So.
Do you ever install a USB jack and extension cable for easy access to a DSP?
So typically, yes and no. Never a jack, because I don't want it to just be some random jack in a car that somebody might accidentally plug into thinking it's a charge port. But a lot of the times we will bury a cable somewhere that, like, for example, like in the Bronco, we have a removable grill. We can get to it there. If it's going into a panel or something, that we'll bring the cable somewhere where we'd immediately know that's where it's at. So yeah, we'll do that from time to time. I think it's, especially if it's just, they're really hard to get to, then yeah, why would you not? Most manufacturers put a USB cable in the box, and there's no reason why you won't just permanently mount it into the installation. Like yesterday we had to do the CHR retune his car. Yeah. And I was I was kicking myself because I was like, why didn't I just leave the USB cable in here, like mount it? Because it's so hard to get to that stupid 830.
And that depends on the cars. Sometimes the amplifiers go under the seat. It's easy to get to it. Yeah. Plug it in.
The other reason too is that, like, a lot of the times I don't want the customer accidentally plugging it in, just thinking like, if it's difficult, they're not, if something's easy, people are more apt to screw stuff up. Yeah. So there is a reason to make it somewhat harder. Because I've had plenty of guys that'll just be like, on a DSR1, for example, there's plenty of guys that you'll explain to them how it works, and then they'll come back like 3 days later and be like, dude, I totally screwed this up. What do I do? And I'll be like, you don't ever do that again. And luckily with that, we know how to save 2 files so that we can reload it when they screw it up on us.
Hertz come with the grill. Yes, same as the Audison right there. Audison shallow mounts comes with a grill.
Ooh, you know which one we didn't mention in the shallow mount was the JL Audio.
The W3?
Yeah.
Oh, the W6, I think.
I mean, the JL for sure, or if you want something that's very similar to the JL, I would check out the Hertz.
Oh, dude, no. Oh, not that I
don't even say remember. Truly. Don't even say.
No. Okay. Automobile.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. They make some subwoofers. Yeah. They are very impressive. So check them out. Or is he gonna say like Arc Audio?
Arc Audio does make sure. I still like mine. That they don't really have too many of anymore.
What do they call? Inverted magnet?
Yeah, I don't know. It's called Sexy. Oh. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Which 5-channel amp do you recommend? Depends on what you're trying to do. I asked this the other day. What do you think about? I haven't asked you yet. Okay, depends on what you're trying to do as far as 5 channels goes. Obviously, Audio Control makes 2 really nice 5 channels. Actually, they're process of making. They'll have 4 or 5 channels because you have the LC 51300, the D 51300 with DSP. You're going to have the height or altitude 5-channel. You also have the ACM 5-channel, the marine version of it. So there's lots of 5 channels there. My favorite 5-channel of all times is the Kenwood 802.5 or the 901.5. Both of those are phenomenally priced, awesome 5-channel amplifiers. There again, it just depends what you're trying to do. But there's a couple to choose from. The Kenwood is our go-to for sure. So hide that for a second. Let me ask you this question. What would you think about a A10s. There you go. Automobile. Yep. See?
Automobile. There you go.
So there it is.
Thank you.
And Ad is a big advocate of this. You want to ask somebody about them? Absolute Electronics out of Rockville, Maryland. The guy's there. He's a big fan of them. They use them all the time. Very nice subwoofer. Very nice subwoofer. We would probably carry them if we didn't do a lot with kicker, but we do. And I really like the kicker stuff. So, okay. So what do you think about an 850 watt amp, 8-channel with DSP?
Monoblock?
No.
Oh,
pay attention. What did I say? It's 800. Okay, time out. I'm doing too many things at once here because I'm trying to shut this off.
Sure.
So 350 watts times 8. So 350 watts times 8 with DSP and 4 pre-outs. So it's an 8 to 12, 350 watts per channel.
Yeah.
Full DSP.
Yeah.
What would you think of that?
Yeah, I would say just give me your credit card so we can buy one now.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Oh, 100%.
Efficient. It's a very efficient amplifier.
Wow, 300?
Yeah. 350 by 8.
Yeah.
With full DSP.
That's cool.
I think it's fantastic.
Yes. No, 100%.
I think it's like freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, because that ends it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you what do you need? I mean, you have big amps like these on the wall. Be about the size of one of these for
Probably.
sure. It'd be about the size of one of these, hands down. But 350 watts. I mean, so even if you're gonna do, 3-way up front sub, you can do that easily. You got like 800 watts for a sub. 3-way or 2-way up front rear, sub. But even if you wanted to go with 1,000 watt or something like that, it is a lot of power. But I mean, everybody wants power, right?
Oh yes.
I mean, you need power. Yeah, 358 would be a flame rod. That thing would get hot, especially in Vegas. Everything gets hot. I mean, everything gets hot. I mean, the reality is it's about 2,000 watts. Okay, 2,200, something like that. I mean, if you think about it, that's what everybody's running.
Yeah.
Okay, this is just one amp to do everything. I think it would be, a Blackbird. It's much bigger than a Blackbird. So it's 350 watts by 8.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think it would be.
No, that would be nice.
I think it would be pretty awesome. I think it would be neat.
Yeah.
I think people would buy it. Because I mean, 70 by 8 is cool, right? Yeah. No. 120. So you say 120 by 8. Okay, that's great.
120 by
but I mean, this footprint is a pro.
Yes.
But 800 or 350 by 8. That's why I screwed it up because I was thinking 8-channel.
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, how cool would that be? I mean,
a lot of power.
It's a lot of power. But
yes,
but there again, I can't talk about like the design of the amplifier, but it's going to be very efficient because the design of the amplifier allows it to be super efficient.
Yeah.
So we're not talking just some crappy amp. We're talking highly advanced, extremely well designed amplifier.
A high-end amplifier for sure.
Yes. Oh yeah, for sure. But
no,
350
12 channels of DSP.
12 channels DSP.
For sure.
And badass DSP. Yeah.
Yes.
That's some cheap Chinese trash.
Okay.
Yeah. That'd be pretty cool.
Well, stay tuned, guys. We're going to make one.
You need that. Well, there again, no, if designed properly, you wouldn't need another amp for the front tweeter because you can easily do current sensing, load sensing on the amplifier so that it knows, okay, this speaker isn't drawing. It's not, tweeter is still only going to pull so much.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's not like it's going to matter.
I went 350 watts for my tweeters.
Yeah, and you would, but the reality is you still only probably get 5 watts out of it.
350.
So it wouldn't matter. I mean, because
I mean,
that's what it is. Okay, so
yes.
With that being said, pull up your camera stuff because it's time. We're running. So we're already fell behind.
I know. Well,
I had a dream product.
About...
I was dreaming about a product, and I was like, damn, because I'm looking at Mosconi 230s, which is like 900 watts, 450 by 2 or some crazy. And thinking, hell yeah, that'd be awesome.
Well.
Speaking of that, hey, if you want to do crazy things, wouldn't you like to capture it on camera? No,
yes.
But you want to capture the guy that is doing the crazy crap on camera, so you're going to definitely want to pick up a Thinkware dash cam. Now, I know what you're saying. Okay, so when are you guys shooting the video? We actually just shot the video yesterday on this, which we're really excited about.
Yeah.
One of the things that we wanted to highlight.
Yep.
Do you have it on your computer?
Yeah.
I was going to say, just
give me a sec. It's right here.
Yeah, okay. So buying a dash cam can be scary because it's like, does everything come in the box? Do I need everything? Do they sell everything? And the reality is sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But Thinkware has this beautiful page here, which is your accessory page.
Mhm.
And what you can find on the accessory page are things like Thinkware OBD2 power cable. So if you want the easiest installation, if you want to put it in from car to car, you can buy a 12-volt power adapter. If yours doesn't come with the hardwire kit, they sell the hardwire kit. If you have a Tesla, they sell a power bridge cable. Yeah, so they have a full line of accessories that you can use when doing your installation. So when you head over to thinkwarestore.com and pick up your dash cam, pay attention, read what comes in the box, and more than likely you're going to want to pick up that Thinkware OBD2 power adapter because it just makes the installation so much easier.
Check the accessories because
some come with it, some don't. But
yes.
I'm telling you that way you don't have to pay us the hardwire to do it. So
Thinkware just to pay us to do it, but
yeah, you can. I just want to say yes, thank you.
Huh.
And we are doing a great job today.
Man.
Okay, sold. See,
sold.
Alex wants the 350 by 8.
Yeah,
sponsor it.
Who doesn't?
I might have to because I think it's a fan. I can't. It's already. Listen, man. Hi, DNF. Do you think I'd notice a big difference going from Exelon Middler to a good bi-amp two-way? Yeah, you would. I don't even need to keep going. But yes, 100%. Don't get me wrong. The C2 is fantastic 2-inch middler, but there is nothing that is going to replace a mid-range and a tweeter. It's just not going to happen, especially the tweeter portion of it because, okay, that's driving me crazy. The tweeter is the most important thing. I mean, I hate middlers. I really do. And nothing annoys me more when I hear a manufacturer tell me how they can't make a 3.5. I think we've had this discussion. We had this discussion on Hi-Fi Show the other night where it's like, oh, we just can't make a 3.5 that sounds right, with a tweeter in the middle. Bullshit. Everyone's been doing it for years. I mean, come on, you can do it. I mean,
Well, apparently not. It's hard.
No, the Illusion. Hell, I have the Illusion. It was $750. It sounded amazing. Give me a break. So it can be done. Y'all just need to try harder. Stop being such a bunch of weenies. For advanced amp setups, how do you wire input and output on a 2 6-channel amps bridge down to 3-channel and 1 mono amp with the so regardless of what you're going to feed it, the question is here. All right. So when bridging amplifiers, this is where this gets confusing. So when bridging an amplifier such as like a 6-channel and you want to turn it into a 3-channel, you're going to need Y connectors. All right. 100% you're going to need Y connectors. That's the secret to it. So on the side of the amplifier, it has all those channels 1 and 2 inputs, or channels 3 and 4 inputs, or 1 plus 2, 1 and 2 plus 3 and 4 and stuff like that. You just need to have all the inputs on, and you're going to need Y connectors. So, and the reason why is you have to feed the exact same signal into those channels you're going to sum. So, for example, if channels 1 and 2 is going to be left, channels 3 and 4 is going to be right, or the left side of the car or the right side of the car, depending on what you're trying to do, you have to make sure you feed that into those inputs. So now if you're going to use, let's say, a 3-channel amp to power just the left side of the car and a 3-channel to power just the right side of the car, then you can use those switches on the amplifiers that say 1 plus 2, 3 plus 4, because you're just going to put a left signal in both RCAs of the front input. So 1 and 2 are going to have a Y jack with both left signals going to it. And then if you flick those switches, it'll feed those left signals into all the RCAs. You're never going to do that, though, because you're going to do DSP. So you're going to have, let's say, channel 1 is tweeter, so you're going to have a Y jack for that. Channel 3 and 4, 3 and 4 is a mid-range. You're going to have a Y jack for that. Channels 5 and 6, let's say mid-bass, you're going to have a Y jack for that. So your DSP is going to come out to a bunch of Y jacks. So it sucks, but that's how that has to be done, because no one has figured out how to put a switch on the amplifier that says 1 plus 2, meaning take channel 2 and feed it with whatever's in channel 1. Everybody has take whatever in channel 1 and feed it to 3, and whatever's in 2, feed it to 4. So it goes this way instead of this way. So buy some jacks. Good times. Tweeter and reel need 4-channel with lower power than 1x4. dream on, man. Come on. It's 350 watts, bro. Just run an 8-ohm tweeter. Most of the tweeters are 6-ohm anyways. What does it matter? Tweeters would melt. Would love. Oh, you guys just don't have any fun.
I don't think they would melt.
I don't think they'd melt either. You're going to cross them over. I mean, you're going to set the gain up properly. I mean,
right. Everything is going to be,
you'll be fine.
you know. Yeah.
Don't be such a pussy. Come on, live a little.
350.
It's 350 watts by 8.
Woo!
Oh, y'all, next thing we're like, can we get a staggered power amplifier? No, you can't. No staggered power. Next time we talk, we can discuss the challenges of a 3-inch. Hey, all I have to say is Pioneer has been making a 3-inch with a tweeter in it since the late 80s. I know I've put in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them and those stupid Cutlass dashes, and that thing sounded great. So we don't need it to sound amazing. It doesn't have to be like the most amazing speaker of all time.
Oh, no, it has to be.
It's okay. Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be like a RS line of 3.5s, but
I mean, but why would you not make it as an RS
ARC
signature?
has a bridge switch that does what you are talking about. ARC does have a bridge switch that talks about it. Of course it does, because they do. They're the only ones. And it's funny he says that, because I was looking at that because I did all the research on the ARC amplifiers that they put the picture on. And so I was looking, and that's what drew me over to the page, because I was trying to figure out what amps these were, because I've never seen them before. So ARC makes it's like a, what is it, 600 by 2, 600 by 4, or a 300 by 2, 300 by 4, and 600 by 2 GH amplifiers that are fantastically huge. I think I was going to talk about them today.
Yeah.
But since we're gonna talk about the upmixer and the ARC, we're not going to. But maybe we'll talk about them on Monday. We'll talk about them on Monday if they let me. Okay. But no, Brad, I look forward to you explaining to me how a 3.5 can't work. Who do you think will come out with a good amp interface for a 2024 Silverado 1500 with Bose system? Metro. Metro already makes it. It works great and controls drive.
Melissa.
Yeah.
Listen to Melissa.
Yeah. I want to meet her sometime, because she knows she's like she works at a store. She knows a lot. I don't know where she's at. Like, I don't know the name of the store, but I'm hoping we bump into her. So
ETH1. There you go. Thank you so much.
Ethernet 1. Yeah, I want to hang out.
Yeah.
Just shoot the shit. Because I think it'd be fun. Anyways, no, Metro already makes one. They work fantastic. We've tested them extensively. A lot of people have tested them extensively. It's one of those things that we had a big conversation with Metro about. It's a fantastic piece. The only other company that has tried to make one of these was Zen, the Zen module from Nav TV. They never got it to work properly. Rumor has it that now that the company is under new management, it just got bought out by Mobridge. One of the things they are going to go back and try to figure out is that particular animal there. So yeah, at some point we'll probably get another one. I do know that PAC is also working on theirs. They're working on it, so hopefully we'll see that sometime, maybe first quarter next year or the end of this year. I don't know, but yeah, so definitely.
All right.
You just don't
need.
Oh my gosh, these guys are no fun.
I want all the power.
I want all the power too.
I want the gigawatts.
I want so much power. It makes everything just.
I think she's in Canada.
She might be. Well, I'll be in Canada.
I mean, you guys gonna be in Canada?
Yeah, I may have met her already. I don't know.
Oh, that would be sad.
No, it wouldn't be, because she's way more predominant in the page now than when it might be why she spends more time here. I don't know. And we may already have hung out. That's the sucky thing. And I wouldn't have known who she was. So Zen was last generation. Yeah, so there again, rumor has it. Where would you mount a Helix conductor in a 2022 250? Isn't that still the old dash on the right side there? Here's the steering wheel right here to the right.
I don't remember, man. It's a 2022.
Because I mean, we would always put that's where we would always put
USB.
No, that's not the USB. That's the base knob. That flat panel.
Yeah, but I don't think it's the 2022.
I don't know. I don't know what the dash looks like.
I don't know. I to be honest, I think as soon as we see the places when we decide, because sometimes you see a big place that you can, I'm going to mount it there. And then you remove the panel, and guess what? You can't. So, I mean, that's what
Are
happened.
you talking to Sebastian?
Yes.
I mean, hold on. Don't do anything.
No.
It's
like,
hey guys, it's that time again for Arc Audio DSP Quick Tips, brought to you by the fine folks at arcaudio.com. That's right, arcaudio.com. What are the odds? Today, the question was, hey Dean, I heard you mention that there is a rear effects for the DSP. How does that work? What do you have to do? What else can it do? I was like, hey, that's a great question. Let's hop over to the DSP and we'll take a look at it. So when you're in the Arc Audio DNA software, the first thing you need to do is come over here and grab your gear, turn it on, and go to preset settings. All the way over here on the right-hand side is a tab that says upmixer enable. Click that on. Right now it is set to music. It does have some options. The only ones we have tested is music because that's what we play. Next thing you want to do is head over to tools and come to mixer assistant. We're going to turn everything off and turn everything off so we can start fresh. If you'll notice now, this box here in the center that says upmixer is highlighted. If it wasn't turned on, this would be grayed out like the super bass above it. What I need to do is figure out what channels I want to run through it. So for example, if we're just going to do the rear effects like we like to do, if I'm using inputs 3 and 4 in my DSP for that, I will turn on both these dots here. And that will allow me to input my left signal and right signal from the rear into that. We'll come over here to outputs 7 and 8, and we'll follow those up, and I'm going to turn on my 2 rear effects just like this. That's it. That's all I have to do to give myself a rear effect, and it's pretty amazing how it works. It's like surround for your car, and it's everything. It's not left minus right. It's actually a full-on upmixer. Now, if you want to take advantage of the full upmixer, then what you want to do is turn on. We'll start by turning it all off. Makes it easier. We want to turn on inputs 1 and 2 so that we're feeding it the front, left, and right signal. Then we can come over here and we have left channel out is going to be 1. Right channel out is going to be 2. And then we can use, let's say, 3 and 4. One of those could be my center channel if I want to do center, which of course I want to do center. We'll make both of those center, 3 and 4. So let's say I'm going to do a tweeter and a mid-range, or a 3.5 with a tweeter, so I can run both channels directly to that. And then my rear channels can be here. And then if I'm going to run like a 2-way active, I can do something like this. Or if I wanted to keep it all uniform so that I don't have to have crazy things, you guys going, what are you doing? So these dots that we're turning on and off are what our channels are corresponding to. So this allows us to pass through. So now we'll have a left front effect, a right front effect, and then we'll call it true center channel, meaning it's going to be a derivative of left and right using their upmixer, their internal upmixer to give us a center channel. So now what I'll have is a true surround going on in the car. From there, I can go in and I can add in my crossovers and whatnot by going to my settings page here, and go to my EQ. Okay, so a couple helpful tips when setting up these things. If you're trying to do polarity, do not run polarity through your upmixer. So turn on your upmixer after you've tested for polarity, because polarity pops will not work through the upmixer. It's doing strange things to the sound, and the frequency that polarity pop is at does not allow it to work. So run it with the upmixer off first, check your polarity, then go back and turn that on. The other thing too is you're going to want to make sure you leave off delay, because you've added a center channel. Delay is no longer needed because we're not tuning it for the driver, we're tuning it for the car. So leave delay off. Now, if you just want to do a fake center, that's a whole nother issue. We're not going to dig into that. This is just showing you how that upmixer can be set up in order to have a little bit of fun in your car. So, and all of the Arc Audio software does come with this. Super bass is a whole nother thing. But anyways, there you go. So that's how you can turn on the upmixer and have fun with it. And this has been DSP Quick Tips. Or should I just do this? Oh, no, this one. And this has been Arc Audio DSP Quick Tips. ArcDNA software is the best in the DSP game. Very useful. I keep finding more and more things inside of it, just like that make me smile. So, and if you're interested, they have a bunch of DSPs to choose from. And of course, the Blackboard being what it is. You also have the PSM Pro, the PSM, and there's more to come. Boom. We're replacing a 500 watt RMS amp with a 2K required alternator along with Big 3 upgrade. Or can I get by with the Big 3 while I try to get an alternator? Okay, so let's talk about the Big 3 and what that actually is. So the Big 3 is assuming that the wiring in your car sucks, all right? And so you're going to put bigger wire in there to compensate for the fact that your wiring sucks. If you have a 120 amp alternator, guess what? You're still only ever going to get 120 watts through there. If you put a big hose on it, you got a big hose that's passing 120 watts. It's not like it's a bottleneck that is allowing you to pass more current. Is a Big 3 upgrade cool? Yeah. Some cars, no. Some cars don't like it. Some newer cars, you definitely don't want a Big 3 upgrade on because you can screw up a lot in the car because it's designed to not do that. So older cars, yeah, why not? Now, when you pop the hood, if you see the fact that you have a little tiny 8-gauge ground or a 10-gauge ground coming off the battery, you should replace that immediately, okay? Keep in mind that on a car like that, more than likely isn't going to have a battery clamp on it on the ground side that's prohibiting you from doing that. If it does, make sure you go on the right side of it, meaning don't go on the battery side, go on the opposite side of the clamp. The alternator wire, replacing that, there again, take that at your own risk. And you know, if you got a big truck and there's a lot of open space, go for it. Some of these other cars can be very tricky, and the juice is definitely not worth the squeeze on that. It just depends on the vehicle as far as that goes. Now, going from a 500 watt amp to a 2K amplifier, yeah, you're going 4 times the amount of power, or 3 times more the amount of power. So 4 times more power. Math. Anyways. If your headlights are dimming now and you're having a hard time, by adding much more power, you're going to run into that much more problems. So, you know, battery would be cool. I mean, a battery is probably more important than a Big 3 upgrade. There again, it just depends on the year of the car. So, you know, if you got like a early 2000s vehicle, yeah, do a Big 3 upgrade. It's definitely not a bad idea. But grounds are usually where these cars fall flat, because the ground plane sucks. So I tend to lean not so much Big 3, just fix all the grounds in the car. You know, so battery to block, battery to wall, battery to frame. Those are the most important things. And you can daisy chain through them. You know, and then if you want to do alternator to battery, go for it. Hi from Montreal, Jeep Wrangler JL 2024 Alpine. What interface and how many channel amp do I need? So PAC just released the Amp Pro for this. You can head over to pac-audio.com. That's now available. That particular vehicle from the factory it's like a 12-channel amplifier. 8 of the channels are for the speakers, and then the other channels go off to the subwoofer. It's a quad coil subwoofer usually in those. So, you know, if you're planning on replacing the subwoofer, then really what you need is an 8-channel amp or a 10-channel or 14-channel or an 8-channel and a monoblock would be a good idea. But from there, you can feed it all off of the Amp Pro. Make sure you get the harness for the amplifier also. The Amp Pro does not, it goes behind the radio, so you'll need a T-harness at the amplifier. What is the ARC piece that enables mid-bass? That is, so on the DSP, it's the super bass feature. So the super bass feature that was grayed out on the DSP is that. Otherwise, it is this little module right here, this little cute thing right here. This is called the BXM. So this is the ARC Audio BXM bass level. Yep, this is it. This little guy, BXM. So this does a couple things. For one, it helps your mid bass. 2, if you have subwoofers mounted in your trunks and they're facing each other, it'll also help those as well. So, but yeah, we used, so on the DSP, the super bass feature, why they called it that is it just happens. It should be called super mid bass feature. What it's capable of doing is very similar to like when you buy one of those little Bluetooth speakers, like the JBL Bluetooth speaker, and you're like, "Oh, that thing is putting out some bass." Reality is, it's not. It's using Wave, which is a software that does all kinds of magical stuff, and this is very similar to that. So you can dial in, and it's really fun. I mean, we've used it in a couple cars that the mid bass has just caused way too many rattles and way too much crap, and we'll dial in with that and be like, okay, there we go. Now we got some punch back to the speaker. It's really cool. And of course, like anything, you can go too far. You can always go too far. What are your thoughts on multiple key amps? I'm trying. This seems to be like the question every week. It's a terrible idea.
I'm thinking about active biamp pillars, mid-range and highs, second with mid-bass and rear fill.
So actually, that would be the only way to do it that makes any sense. The problem is you have no way to make the front mid-bass a mid-bass because it's going to run full range. Like it doesn't know that it's supposed to be a mid-bass because there's no, the bandpass crossover is enabled when it's in biamp mode. So when you do front and rear, it knows that the front is going to be a full range. So at that point, you would just be better off going with an external DSP and programming it the way you're supposed to. So it's not made to do these things. It is made to do one of two things in a very generic installation. So it's made to do a front tweeter or mid and a mid bass, or a front speaker set and a rear speaker set. Other than that, it's not capable of deciphering any of this other stuff that people want to do with it. It's not made to do that.
I feel when you go in, with the three-way up front and things like that, it's like
you need a real DSP.
You need a real DSP,
right?
Definitely.
Yeah, because it just doesn't have the capability of handling that stuff.
No, it's gonna do what they can do, and that's it. You don't have a capability of fixing anything.
Yeah. Fernando, are you ready for that 9500? I can't wait for you to review it, and I want one myself. You ready for it?
I'm ready, man. Yeah. It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Maybe next week. I'm hoping next week. It has to be next week. Have you ever worked on a 2015 RX 350 with the factory amplified system, non-Mark Levinson system? Asking about because I couldn't get the audio to sound good with the Helix V8 Blam Signature 3-way in front. So the first question, yes, we've worked with Lexuses. There is a bunch of all-pass filters in there. So the key to that car is de-equalization, okay? So it's Toyota. At the end of the day, it's Toyota. Lexus is Toyota, right? Lexus is Toyota, Infinity's Nissan. Anyways, it's Toyota. There's a ton of de-equalization that needs to be done on that. Now, if it is the factory amplified so what you may want to do in order to bail yourself out on this one, if you don't want to go through all the heartache, is find out how many front channels you actually have to deal with. Put a bunch of kicker keys in it, because the kicker key will flatten that thing out and fix everything that you have to manually do on the Helix. The Helix will do some de-equalization, but it won't remove all pass filters. You physically have to go in and find them and tell them where they're at, whereas a key lock will take care of all that shit. So you may want to throw a couple key locks in there. Day 2, living on generator power. That storm hit South Carolina like no other storm before. So crazy. For sure, dude. It's nuts. Let's just say that. It was definitely here. Yeah, for sure. Lexus should be Amp Pro. So you might also check. Yeah. Melissa's right. There might also be a Toyota Amp Pro for that. So if you haven't, head over to pack-audio.com and see if they list an Amp Pro for there. Melissa, you never answered us where you're at in the world. What if you had, I didn't see it.
Let me see.
What's in the box? Ahead. It's always ahead.
There you go.
2007 Camry stock electrical system. What is a reasonable RMS wattage I can expect to put on my vehicle ampere wise? Planning on 5-channel amp if I want to handle a large load while my car is running. Is the aftermarket alternator the answer? I mean, it's a 2007. You might be able to get a bigger alternator for it, but probably not that big. What are you pointing at?
Right there. She's answering you.
Oh, 45 miles south of the Twin Cities.
Minnesota?
I guess.
And then,
I don't know.
okay.
Are you going to go to Master Tech or Knowledge Fest? We got a party if you are. Anyways, so it's a 2007. Depending, I mean, there's a few big 5-channel amps out there, like a few. Most 5-channel amps are efficient enough to where you can just put them in the car and not suffer any fate. You know, even like the Audio Control LC5 1300 would be fine in that car. Like there's no reason why it wouldn't perform without, normally without having to go all crazy on it. Now if we're talking like a JP surfboard 5-channel that they have, yeah, you'd probably need some work on the electrical system in that car. But most 5-channel amplifiers, they tap out somewhere under 1,000 watts. So 1300 is the audio control. That should still be fine for that car. Because I mean, over the years we put a lot in Toyotas. It should be all right. Ken would like to know, what is the name of your shop? Okay. I go to several KFIS, been to Mobile Solutions a few times, but haven't been to Master Tech. I'll try to get there because Brian is always so helpful. Yeah.
Hey, Marty.
Oh, what's up? Hi. Cool. Thanks. Sony. All right. Hold on. What does he say? Is the New Horizon floating screen head unit on level as, say, the Alpine or Sony? That's a good question. That is yet to be determined because obviously we haven't got our hands on one to really see what it's capable of. Feature-wise, it does seem like it is a really good contender to go up against these. However, until you actually touch something, I don't pass judgment on it. So I'm not going to say yes without being able to grab it, hold it, put one in, feel all the connectors, feel the screen, because everything is changed on it. It's so much different than a high 10. It's hard to say what it's capable of doing. It does have a lot of new features that I've been looking forward to, like the 8 preamp outputs and all those other fun things. And just like it, yeah, I mean, on paper, yes, it should be right in line with all of those. And if it is, it's going to be a fantastic radio this year. And they're going to sell a bunch of them for sure. Yeah. Hopefully they'll be able to keep them in stock. Okay. So Victor apparently has some questions.
Right there.
So Victor says, 2016 Mustang GT350R, bass audio, 4 speakers, 2 tweeters, center channel, no amp. It's got to have an amp. I want to keep the OEM look and function with stock radio. Getting the door panels with the mid speaker grill, very good. That would be wonderful. And the OME subwoofer that goes in the trunk. Don't do that. I wouldn't waste your money on that. I'd get a real box for the trunk. There's plenty of people out there that make boxes to go into there. DSR1 audio control or something else. Amp can be where the OEM one should be, under the dash or under the passenger seat. I'm moving to Merritt Island at the end of the year and will be coming. So
check it out. One
more. You guys hopefully next year, because I've followed your work for the last 6 years. Fantastic.
Thank you so much, man. Thank
you. The safe answer to this is, if you're going to have us do it, don't buy anything yet other than the door panels, because you're going to need those. I sure as heck wouldn't buy the subwoofer enclosure, because you're not going to find something to go in that sounds worth a shit, and you're going to end up throwing that thing out. If you already ordered it, I totally understand, but it is not. There's a reason why those come out. They don't put out a lot of bass. There are boxes that will go back, and you're like, I don't know. You're going to have to take over that room, or you're going to have to go underneath into the tire well. Either way, factory box, trash. Putting something up into the kick panel is going to be very difficult because there isn't a lot of room up there. The factory amp is very small. We've tucked the DSR1 up in there a couple times. We have since stopped doing that because it just makes servicing it a nightmare. Everything goes in the trunk somewhere. There's no room underneath the seats because the seats sit right on the floor. So the trunk is really the only space you have in that vehicle, and 9 times out of 10, everything goes in the spare tire well. So that's just how the cookie crumbles. As far as keeping the factory radio to 2016, I feel you're gonna have to replace the radio. That wasn't really a question, but you're gonna have to do it because that radio sucked. So integrating into it really is not the best option, but we'll see. Yeah.
I mean, you have a lot of options right
There are a
now
lot
to
of
have
to keep a very factory look.
to keep the same factory look and a
it's
better
just one of those
features
things
for
where
sure.
we definitely want to have a conversation. Hey, this next and final portion of the show is brought to us by the fine folks at Focal America. You know, I was thinking today, and I was like, you know, one of the speakers we never actually talk about are Utopias, because we've talked about the K2s. Big fan of the K2s. But did you know that you can pick up the 165W XPs, which is it's a 6.5 inch set of
okay.
Utopias.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
you get the beryllium, you get the cool beryllium tweeter, you get the 6-inch mid bass, you get a passive crossover
if you need it. Yeah.
if you need it. I mean,
at that point when you're going with that,
I mean, why would you not?
Look at that.
It's a gorgeous set of speakers.
Yeah.
But you know, and a lot of people never get the opportunity to check these things out. I would strongly suggest, if you've never seen them before or had the pleasure of just seeing what goes into $1 million set of speakers, these are not $1 million, but the Grand Utopias are. If you'd like to see what goes into those, make sure to head over to focal-america.com and check them out. Check out the line of these speakers. We just did the unboxing of the Porsche set for the 911, which is fantastic. It has a version of all of these speakers that are in custom fit adapters so that they just plug right in. My personal request would be if they'd make that tweeter that they make for the Porsche as a standalone, because you know, I would love to get that small beryllium tweeter and put that in a factory location. This one is a little bigger, but still nonetheless very sexy.
Yes.
And don't touch it. Apparently very bad for you. So
don't touch it.
Audison SR 4.300. I think I have one of those. And a Focal KX2 crossover. What ohm load does each amp channel see when you buy amp? And when the bridge at the crossover, I want to pick, it's a 2 ohm load. So I think the tweeters are a little higher than a 2 ohm load, but at the crossover, it's 2 ohm. So don't bridge amplifier to passive crossover set. So if you want to buy amp out to it, perfectly fine. Go for it. You'll be okay. Keep the passive crossover as far from the amplifier as possible. Not like in another car or anything, but don't do like amplifier, passive crossover. Put them away some, because they will generate some noise, because it's a passive crossover. It's a big passive crossover. What are your thoughts on the Mosconi DSP Atomo 4-6? Fantastic. Ooh, it's actually on my wish list to get and hold, and I want one because they're really tiny and cute. No, wait a minute. Atomo 46.
Yeah, that's what we have.
I was gonna say I already have one. Where's it at?
I don't know, but that's what we have in my.
I was gonna say I was thinking Pico.
No, that's what we have in my car. Remember?
Yeah, shit. My bad. Yeah, dude, this guy.
Yeah.
I do have one. Yeah, there it is, right there. How sexy is that? Yeah. So a lot of cool things about this. The reason why it was sitting over there is because you can actually power this thing up with USB power. So like when we're doing demos and stuff, or we need to design, we use this a lot on our bench. This also makes a fantastic tool.
Yeah. Because
you can do all kinds of neat stuff with it. But yes, as far as in your car, you get all of the cool Mosconi DSP in a box that's this big. That's 4-6. This is probably the coolest 4-6 DSP out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice. If you need 6 channels.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah.
Sorry. But yeah, there you go. Not a big Focal fan, but the beryllium tweeter is magical. It totally is. Yeah. It's very, very fantastical.
Yeah.
I think I should peel this piece of plastic off here.
Don't do that.
I have to, because it's... Oh, it's a magnet.
Yeah, so you can flip it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no, you should definitely don't do that. It's going to scratch it.
It's a magnet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. I never knew that. Learn something new every day, guys. Yeah, look. See, it comes off, and I can mount this any direction now. I love it when people do stuff like this.
Oh, no, it's fantastic.
That is so cool.
You put it somewhere, and it's like, it's upside down.
It's got a little red thing on it, too, which is totally... we got cool stuff, man. I swear to God.
Definitely.
We got the cool stuff. If you were to choose between a center speaker or just 2-channel stereo in a car, which would you choose just for a one-seat? Listen, no one drives in my car with me at all, ever, never. No one does. And most people are the same way. I mean, if you think about American society, the reality is we're selfish, and it's like you have a car, right? Well, meet me. And then if you are in the car with me, chances are good we're not listening to music. We're talking, which means the music is down low. Now, I know some people that just crank the stereo up, and at the end of the day, they're rude and they really don't care what you have to say, anyways. And so it's just noise.
That's just me.
Yeah, and it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm a one-seat guy. I want it to sound. I'm selfish. I want it to sound the best for me. I don't want two mediocre systems I don't want it to sound mediocre. It's like there's nobody in the car with me. Why do I want it to sound mediocre? 90% of the time, if you're the only one in the car.
Two channel?
No, I'll pick one channel. I want a.
I don't care channel about stereo.
Yes, yeah. I want it to sound good for me always. I don't care about anybody else. That's their problem. In my world, you're just a squirrel trying to get a nut. I want it to sound good for me. It's all about me. All about my number one. Yeah, I don't know. It's a country song. Anyways, hey, Dean and F. Last week we touched on my. Oh, hey, somebody touched something. Ooh, be careful. But 2014 Mazda 5. This build is going to be done in phases, leaning towards the Sony 9500 ES. Any recommendations on what should be done first for expandability later? Listen, I'm a big fan of source unit first, so that usually makes the most sense because once you have the source unit, you can pretty much do anything you want. How most people do their systems is subwoofer first, which to me is like stupid because the sub typically doesn't sound the best it can because it usually coming off factory radio is limited. But I would source unit, subwoofer, mids and highs. Personally, I'm a layaway guy. I just like to do it all at once. So I am. I'm going to save until I can buy it all because I hate waiting. It's like, oh, I got some of it. No, just send it all to me, man. 3 to go. Thanks, Fang. 4 to 6 is one of my favorites.
Yeah, it is. It is nice.
It's so cool. I mean,
it's so small.
Boom. Yeah. 2022 Grand Cherokee with 6-speaker, no amp. I want to upgrade speakers, but only have a place for a tweeter and a 6x9 up front. I had a Kenwood component set in my other vehicle, but I don't have a spot for a two-way coaxial in the dash. What's your best option on component set not running an amp? Thanks for all you do. Okay, a couple options here that I'm going to throw at you. I'm going to throw 2 options at you right away. First, since you're a Kenwood fan, check out the 7-inch Kenwood. Okay, so they still make the mid-bass monsters, which is the 7-inch component set. It comes in like 2 or 3 different versions now. So they make an XR version of it that is like badass 6.5 and their XR tweeter. So that they actually in the box it'll fit in the bracket. It'll fit in a 6x9 location. Let's just say that. Believe it or not, the cheaper ones are the easier ones to install because they come with all the backs. The higher end ones are expecting you to make the bracket. So if you just get the Exelon ones, they'll come with the bracket in the box. Second is to check out the Focal integration series. They make a 6x9 component set that'll drop right in there. So 6x9 and a tweeter. That's what we put in a lot of the Ford F-150s because it's just done, easy, simple. But yeah, there you go. 2 ideas to shoot. Sweden in the night. You're great. Oh, thank you. 2017 Acura MDX using the factory amplified integration T harness to a power-based DSP 8 volts. Thanks for the recommendation to JL450. Fantastic. Yeah, it's the cool little power base. Definitely the new low-price DSP 8 to 8. Can't beat it. It's like $350. And it works all off your phone. Is it possible to install a line driver, epicenter, etc., or send higher voltage to the aftermarket amplifiers for the highest quality and sound or not? So epicenter makes the matrix, which is exactly what you're talking about. It just depends on what you're trying to do. So like if you got a DSP, DSPs are all line drivers. So I feel the benefit of a line driver is a couple $100. Most good DSPs are really good line drivers. So maybe instead of buying a line driver, you just go full up to a DSP. So something like, I don't know, PSM Pro, little tiny guy, very similar size to this. 6 in, 8 out. You have a line driver built into it, and you get a full DSP, and it's reasonably priced. So I mean, you could also do this, 4 to 6. Just depends on how many channels you have. Some people love the Matrix. It'll do what you're asking. If you're retaining an amp with magnetic badges,
I think it's
you
retired.
can't put it on your. Yeah, I mean, listen, I couldn't put it on my refrigerator if I wanted to, because no, dude, when we put the pumpkin on the refrigerator, I had to now I have a stack of magnets that are waiting to go back on the refrigerator.
You have a Mosconi refrigerator.
I mean, it's tempting. I would make it out of acrylic though. I would do something. Well, I never knew that either. Right? I just thought it was a shitty sticker. How cool is that? I mean, the new Picos are the same way, because you can peel the top of the Pico off and flip it any way you want.
But in the new Pico, they have, in this one, you have to move, like physically open it to do some jumpers if you want to do some
What's your
adjustments.
high level? What's your high level?
Yeah.
So it's where you do your SB or
and the new one is outside.
No, the new one is inside underneath. So the new
Right.
Pico is underneath here. The old one is outside. So the new Pico, when you peel off the top,
yes,
I can't.
It comes out.
God.
Yes.
The new Pico, it's underneath the top, so you don't have this.
Correct.
So you don't have these.
But this one you physically have to open it.
The old ones you do. No, this one is right here. This is here.
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I open it.
Did you open
actually change it?
Okay. Well, the new version, I'm assuming, will probably be you just peel the top off. Because we'll never be able to figure it out because we can't get the.
Have a great weekend to you, my friend.
You have a fantastic weekend too.
I think they changed it up. Yeah.
I mean, I get it. Hey guys, did you know that this show is brought to you by 4 amazing sponsors, and thank them all for doing it. Thank you all for coming in. I'd like to thank ThinkwareStore.com. I'd like to thank ArcAudio.com, and I don't need to say .com. You can go to Audio Control, as well as Mosconi, Gladen, and Focal, the fine Orca group here in the U.S., for sponsoring the show and making it possible for us to come to you twice a week. Oh, my God. That's right. We'll be back Monday to have fun and excitement with you. Hey, if you're getting the remnants of our hurricane up towards you, please be safe. It is a brutal hurricane, and she's just mean and nasty. She's a scorned woman for sure. She did us dirty. Hopefully she's not going to do you dirty also. Make sure to tune in Monday, where we'll take more questions and have more fun. I don't know what else to say other than thank you guys so much for being part of this and letting us come into your home every Saturday and just have fun. Thank
5 minutes with fans. 5-star on Monday, hopefully.
Instagram,
and
I can actually edit that show and put it out this week. Because hey, for any of you that did catch the 5 minutes of 5-star and 30 or so minutes in, the audio went to crap. There's an updated version of it where the audio is now fixed. So if you're like, damn it, you can go back and watch that now. I took care of it. Melissa
told you
was the one that told me it was messed up. Wow. So I know. Thank you. Thank all you guys so much. You guys have a great weekend. We'll see you later. Bye.